Hello and welcome everyone. Let me make sure my volume is up. Happy Memorial Day to all of our members in the US. Welcome to the show. This is going to be short and sweet. And by sweet, I mean such an appreciation for all of our members in Nurses in Charge. We thank you all for the journey that we've all embarked on here at this ministry called Nurses in Charge Global. Thank you, thank you. Today is definitely all about the memories we've built over the years and how, by the grace of God, we have so far. Has not been an easy one, but it has been memorable, to say the least. It has indeed been memorable all of these years. So let's see who's joining me. If you're on YouTube, you're on LinkedIn, or you are just on Facebook and supporting this conversation today, I say thank you. My name is Dr. Nyepu Kemoho. I am the founder of Nurses in Charge, and I am your humble servant here. And I say that and I mean it because this indeed professionals who have been called into this healing ministry of Christ. Our mission in Nurses in Charge is to connect, celebrate, and empower nurses and midwives globally. So this really means a lot to our global community because we see how sometimes the beauty of connecting with individuals that we've never met, but connecting with them on a level of brotherhood, sisterhood is that even though we are divided by oceans, we are divided by different continents, we are still in one body in Christ. So with that said, we also have had challenges with technology when we try to join some meetings. The time zones are so diverse. And sometimes we're trying to just get the proper timing and then we miss some meetings and like, oh my goodness, I thought it was at this time and that time. That in itself as well is the beauty of a global community because then you get to see the challenges of connecting at the same time, but from different time zones. So I truly appreciate you all for the past 5 years that we have done this together. And from the depth of my heart, I want to thank my family because Nurses in Charge started in our living room. We started where we brought a vision. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2 says, write down the revelation. And when God spoke that to me, I wrote down the vision and presented it to the board members in my living room, my family. And I said, listen, guys, God is calling me to connect nurses and midwives globally. God wants me to connect nursing professionals globally and to lead them in the way He wants them to be led, true identity, true calling, ministerial approach to healthcare. And I explained the whole shebang to my family. And they bought it. My family bought it. So as God would have it, there were 8 founding members of Nurses in Charge. My husband being one of those, my parents being among the team, and my sister, my my sister-in-law, my um, spiritual advisor, Minister Francis Port Nimley, who is still with me this day. She was there, and a friend of mine who is still with me as well, a colleague of mine who came on board, and all 8 of us agreed. We applied for the EIN, the registration, you name it. If you've ever started a nonprofit, you know that it is not a quick process. It takes time and it is very legalistic. It has to be done properly. So we gave it all to God in prayers and we started this ministry. The name was already given to me. So NIC, Nurses in Charge, is divine. And there is no mistake about that. I have no second guessing about that. I am not confused about the name of Nurses in Charge. And because when God gives you the name, when God gives you a thing, you take it as He has. When God calls you to lead, you go and go on to with the journey, take the torch and carry on his calling because he is with you and he has been with Nurses in Charge over these years. So I want to take you guys to some of the major areas of services that Nurses in Charge has endeavored as a team. We have had a Share Your Nurse Story and going on now for 3 years. We started this podcast that we are on today, and it started in a means of Bible study. And I would sit on Facebook video call. If you look to my, let me see, this is my left shoulder. Actually, right above my left shoulder, there's a prayerful hand. It says Nurses in Charge devotional. This podcast started as a devotional service, and members of the team would join me and we would read, and we started reading the book of Job. I still remember like it was yesterday. We started reading the book of Job and, having discussion on how Job struggled and how we could use and we need to use the experience of Job being so ill, so frail and debilitated and seemed like he had a terminal illness that he was never going to survive. And even his wife came to him and said, "Hey, buddy, you need to just curse God and die." And Job refused to do so. And if you've ever read the book of Job, you will identify that at the end of the entire ordeal, Job was blessed 10 times more than he ever lost. And God Almighty hands have always been with him. And all the disgrace and all of the shame and all of this, the suffering that he endured, he was rewarded faithful. So that devotional went on, and that devotional started 4 years ago before the actual podcast. And then the podcast really took off. The Share Your Nurse Story, nurses have come along, have shared their stories with us, and we have been able to truly understand why people join nursing and what are the struggles and what are the challenges and what are the triumphant moments where they just know that God brought them through. So so I just truly appreciate everyone that has taken this journey. And if you look behind me on my virtual background, these are the stories. Not all of them, really. I could not fit everything on here, but these are the stories, people. So we went on as Nurses in Charge. We founded, with the help of Casey Pacheco. Girl, if you're listening, God bless you. Casey Pacheco came on board, She brought on the regional directors. We've had 6 regional directors from the global communities, and these regional directors have truly bought the vision of Nurses in Charge. They led their regions to bring on members. And today, as we sit in West Ab, we sit in our global communities, in social media spaces. We have thousands and thousands of followers in places like LinkedIn, that may not know the story, may not know our humble beginnings. So I just wanted to take a moment of your time today to share this journey with you, to share with you that it has never been an easy one, but it has been joy filled. And I personally I have matured in leadership. I have come along to trust God, to trust His leading, His unwavering support, His faithfulness. That's what it's called. Where when times have been tough, He will lead me and tell me which way to pivot. So it has not been easy, but it has been joy filled with all of these people behind me, or all of these people beside me, even in front of me, because I have to see I have to see the scope of the organizational growth. I have to see who's here, who has not showed up, and contact them. I have to be able to look aside and say who needs help. And then we look aside, all of us as a global community, we have been there to connect with each other in our various meeting sections. We have been able to celebrate. And one time there was a doctor who came on board. Actually, he was interviewing me about who Nurses in Charge is, and he said, "Are you guys just a socializing community? You guys are just social, a social connection?" I said, "We have that too. That's part of our mission to celebrate. So yes, we do." So well, that is really not what I'm looking for, and it's okay for you to not, connect with us on that level. But if anything else, that we don't only socialize, but we empower through professional development. Are you willing to lead in that area? But there's something about the ministry that God has called us to, that if someone realizes that this is not for them, it is okay. It's okay for them to not be there. They're not forced to be present. They're not forced to sign up, because again, we're here to anchor ourselves in the healing ministry of Christ, and truly to support our global sisters and brothers in this endeavor. Because I tell you, the healthcare profession in general can become not only mundane, it can become it can become like a chokehold, where you feel like, oh my goodness, I can't breathe. This job is really, this career is really draining me. It can become such a rough patch where you feel like, oh my goodness, who is there to support me? And oh, I have membership with this and that organization, but do I really have a community I can reach out to when I need help? And I come from that standpoint because I was burnt out before Nurses in Charge was founded. And going back to those days, I started um, organizing, just mini talks around burnout prevention. And yes, the burnout prevention coalition, of coalition against burnout prevention. Did I say that right? Coalition against burnout was how I truly started, right before Nurses in Charge went about being an organization. And that is how I met Casey Pacheco. We met on the common grounds of burnout prevention. So you will feel burnout if you don't take care of yourself. If you put the job first and put your heart into the job to the point where the job um, just drain you, and or the job just defeat your your expectations, like you put your expectations up there, and the job does not, you don't feel that they're meeting your expectation, that can lead to burnout. If you are a rising star and you are truly looking to grow and the job is not growing you reach your I would say you reach a blank wall where you feel like you reach the ceiling in what you are striving for within a um, company, and you're not growing, you will experience burnout when you don't take care of yourself in that area, if you don't watch out for the clues. What else can burn you out? When you are discriminated on the job. I have been discriminated against on a job, and that truly drained my spirit. It led me in a very dark place at one point where I thought I would never come out of that space. But again, I'm a child of God, and for a moment, I forgot who I was. So that's true identity. This is one area of Nurses in Charge where you get to know who you truly are in God's kingdom and why He called you to be here to serve humanity, not for you to suffer, not for you to be discriminated against. But when you lose track of your true identity and the source of your energy, your life, your destiny, then humans will disappoint you and you will be burned out. Seriously. If you're in that space right now, call me, email me, the nurses in charge the nurses in charge at gmail.com, and we will have a talk because I know what I feel like. I know what it feels like, and I've been there. And I truly pray that you come out of that area, that dark space, triumphant, rising like a star that you are, and doing greater things than you thought you could ever do. So if you are out there listening to me and you are a member of Nurses in Charge, Memorial Day, I just want to also let you all know that beyond the founding, we have had chapters that have been established in Liberia, Cameroon. We have chapter leaders in these areas, and even the USA. We are definitely moving forward here. And so, with that said, thanks to our chapter leaders who work directly under the leadership of the ambassadors and regional directors. Thank you for your services. We say thanks to our volunteers, and a lot of our volunteers are not healthcare professionals, but they've come on board because they believe in this mission, this vision to see the world appreciate our healing touch, to appreciate our calling. So they have come on board. We have mentors, educators, researchers. If you missed our symposium, our very first symposium, you missed a lot because you need to go back to our YouTube channel and view that presentation that was done just a few weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago. Our global symposium was held, and we have presenters, and it was amazing, amazing. So we really do thank God for the milestone there. Thanks to our partners, our collaborators who have come along. Um, and as the result, we've had a legacy the legacy um, award that was given out this year to all of our members. It was given out to, oh, here we go. Yes, the Legacy Award was given out to nurses in charge, leaders, and our partners who have come on board have done phenomenal job in pushing forward this vision. So, nurses in charge, we say thank you, thank you, thank you to all of our leaders who have tirelessly supported the mission to connect, celebrate, and empower others. Dina Paoloni, we say thank you. She is one of our recipients of this Legacy Award. And then we go into Neo El Kemu, recipient of our Legacy Award as well. We say thank you. We say thanks to Sharon Birch for your legacy in professional excellence in nursing. Zuhel, we say thank you as well. This is a young leader who is in Sudan. She's from Sudan. She is studying nursing currently in Egypt. She blew my mind, and she is such a phenomenal leader at her young stage in nursing. And watch her presentation in that YouTube channel, in that YouTube episode that we have there. Everything is recorded in YouTube. And Madam Cecilia Fangula Flomo, our ambassador to Liberia, we recognize you. We say thank you for your leadership, and indeed your legacy speaks. We say thank you, Ministers Francis Port Nimley. We say thank you for your leadership. And I'll take you back to that video. When you watch it, you will see where every member, every recipient of this legacy award have a unique, and all of the blurb you see under here under the name of the recipient, you will come to find out there's something so unique, different from one person to another. And no one recipient of this award did or that nurses in charge see um, identical to the other. It's just so unique how they come on board. Imagine the wealth wave leaders who came on board strong, and they're still here with us, by the way. They are teaching us financial literacy. So it's just such a memorable time that having this Memorial Day without mentioning all of our leaders that have come to serve, that continue to drive this entire wagon, this ministry to achieve the God-given purpose that we're here for. We could not have had this time without mentioning them. Shinano, thank you. And then Dean Boakai, he's a dean of nursing in Liberia. Dean Kindly, thank you so much for what you do for the future generation of nurses. And then we have Fancy Motua. Thank you so much for what you do as well. And then we have Dean Clinton Zianto, again, another dean of nursing in Liberia. Thank you, thank you. Michelle DeStefano is an amazing leader. She is the director for Nurses in Charge Center for Professional Development, and you have seen her on our webinars, and she is definitely all in. She is an amazing leader who coaches executive leaders. And imagine God has blessed us with Michelle. And then Dr. Elizabeth Ibochi is another amazing one. You should check out her mentorship her mentorship program, and you will be amazed. And I do encourage that you take on her program into your various universities and colleges to definitely have that level of mentorship established right within the academic years of nursing students. And then moving on to Kendria Mboshi, if you've never met Kendria, she's a phenomenon to for lack of better words. She is amazing. Health topics. She is very health conscious to the point where if you watch her trainings, you come to realize what you're not doing right in your own health and what you can do in your own health. And I've been following her for a while. She is also one of our amazing leaders and nurses in charge. So and then Yensha Stanley Bunker, another nursing student who is moving and shaking the globe with his gift of leadership. Thank you, Yensha. And then Mr. Elvis. Mr. Elvis is in Cameroon in nurse anesthetics, and he is an amazing leader. He brought on his students who also had their research projects. So imagine he is anchoring this generation of nursing students, right, who are now taking the baton, taking the torch into research. And when I was in their area of development as a nursing student, I did not have the opportunity to present a project to such a global community. So sometimes I look at them, I'm like, I wish I was like you. I wish I had your opportunity. And they are truly taking advantage of this organizations, this platform to definitely come on board and let their um, work be seen by by the world, the entire world. So thank you, Mr. Elvis. And then we have Technical Moffett Thomas, who is an amazing spiritual leader. She has definitely been leading in Nurses in Charge when it comes to our faith and purpose community, global community, where we have monthly meetings. We pray for the organization, and this lady, this amazing woman of God, has been there by my side. She's not a nurse, right? But she's the cheerleader of nurses, especially when it comes in spiritual matters, leadership. You definitely, if you are not in our WhatsApp community where you can see all of these different chat rooms, then you're missing out on a lot. And then we have Miss Doris Gonga, who is based in Italy, but she is uh, our membership and enrollment director. She is a phenomenal leader. In addition to the fact that she also leads our faith community as well. So thank you. And then Evelyn Y. M. Yengio is nurses in charge / nurses and midwives in charge, chapter leader in Liberia. She is Liberia has this is the unique part of nurses in charge in Liberia. We do have 7 chapters that were established in 2024. But the very first chapter that was established prior to the 2024 additional 6 chapters was established with Mistress Yengio. She is a dynamic leader. She don't take no for an answer. She is full of energy, and I love it. Energy for professional growth, of course. So thank you, Evelyn, for what you do. And in fact, when we were deciding to vote for a new chapter leader, there were members of the chapter that said, "Oh no, Evelyn has to go for a second term," and this is why she retained her position, because it was anonymous. They are still growing fresh, but she had reached her second year in leadership in nurses in charge, according to our bylaws. But they voted her back in and say we still need to build our foundation here, and Evelyn can do that for us. So she is amazing, amazing, amazing. Let me see. There's someone in the chat room. Thank you for joining. Thank you for Pastor Lavera. You're watching from Liberia. Thank you so much. Thank you, Reverend Lavera. I need to stop calling you Pastor because you have been elevated beyond the pastorhood, but you're still doing pastoral jobs. So sometimes I get stuck in that area. But thank you so much for taking our time to be here. Today is Memorial Day in the USA, and I'm just chatting here, taking our time to um, to appreciate all of our members and nurses in charge. So I'm going over the legacy awardees, commemorating them. Hey Dina, I just talked about you. Welcome, welcome. I just talked about you, and I truly appreciate you. Thank you for joining. And even though you're not in the US, happy Memorial Day to you all, because Nurses in Charge is taking this Memorial Day to commemorate all of our leaders, and everyone that has stood forward and helped this ministry to move forward. We say thank you. You are beautiful, Dina, inside and out. Thank you for your legacy. Mandy Reed. Listen, guys, I met this lady at a Christian conference that was held this year. Mandy fights human trafficking. She's the founder of Dear Dinah, and she is such a pain in the butt of those human traffickers. And if you've ever seen a human trafficker video, and some of those who they track them down and they get them persecuted, Mandy is that fireball. She believes that human trafficking robs the souls of God's children. And she came this year and did a phenomenal teaching on human trafficking. And she did a general review, training on how to spot a human trafficker at the bedside, in the hospitals, and in our work areas. But then she drove it home to nurses and midwives who are migrating globally, and truly going to different parts of the world. How job promotion, people looking for greener pastures, and how human traffickers can prey upon these health professionals. So Mandy, thank you for what you do. Hey Dina, thank you. You're watching from the UK. I can't wait to visit you one of these days, and I'll post and say I am in the UK watching you all, and do a little tease to Nurses in Charge members. That's the beauty of our global sisterhood in Nurses in Charge. So thank you. Moving on to our next recipient, and this is Reverend Lavera RT, who is still with me. She says she's watching from Liberia, and Reverend Lavera is my spiritual anchor when it comes to how I do what I do every day. Because when you have that, let me tell you guys the beauty of having a spiritual leader. We all may have had or currently have coaches. Yes, they coach us in the areas of professional excellence, and or maybe entrepreneurship, and you just name it, lifestyle coaching. You name it, mine. One of mine is in spiritual health. And I have all of these spiritual leaders that have surrounded me. So if the enemy wants to come at me, he has to go through all of these shields that God has provided me. So I encourage all of you guys to get a spiritual um, leader, a spiritual mentor that will help you to 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 rise above everyday challenges and to be able to anchor yourself as that professional who has the foundation, whose foundation is built in Christ, in Jesus Christ. So here we are. Ben Yu is in Cameroon, and he is an OR nurse. This guy is brilliant. Beyond his brilliance, he is such a servant leader. And we appreciated him this year for the Legacy Award because I cannot go on. He is an amazing leader, and he is always available for nurses in charge, supporting our endeavors here. Wendy Kemu, if you heard me speak of the original founders of Nurses in Charge, one time someone said, "Why you have all these Kemus on the board of directors?" I said, "Well, when we first started, excuse me, we no longer have those um, uh, founding members on the board of directors. We don't have all of them there till present. They are now our board of advisory. So they are on our advisory board because they know the journey, and I listen to them. I hear them when they give advices or have pointers for our direction forward. So Wendy is one of those. She's my sister-in-law. She's also RN, and she has been there from the very beginning. She was one of those that brought the vision from the very early stage of the organization. So thank you, Wendy. William Bobo, thank you for what you do in Liberia. He is the financial secretary for Nurses in Charge, Chapter 1. The first chapter established in Liberia. So, and he plays several roles in Nurses in Charge currently. He is a nurse champion, always bringing on new nurses so that they can truly get on board. And then we have Bernice Aketi. She is a Nigerian nurse, but globally anchored. She is very instrumental when it comes to what she does globally for the nursing body, nursing and midwives. So, and she's a member of Nurses in Charge. She is in our Nigerian chapter. And whenever we see posting from Bernice, it means that there's something very knowledgeable she wants to share from the healthcare communities, or programs that can benefit nurses and midwives in our global community. So thank you so much for all that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever met Nurse Ruben Marcus? He is in LinkedIn. This is um, a champion for infection control, prevention. He does trainings. I believe Marcus is Nurse Ruben is currently working on the Mercy Ship. Um, if you've ever heard of the Mercy Ship, they are cruising around the world and doing some amazing surgical procedures, cleft lid, a cleft palate, and just surgeries that you never thought that person could survive it. And this is where Nurse Ruben works currently. But beyond where he works currently, let me just uh, take joy in what else he does. He is leading this campaign, this project on the nurse title. If you see at the beginning of his name, it said NR. So DR for doctors, NR for nurses. And he is leading this so that we can have this NR at our name so that we are identified as nurses and not doctors with a DR. As a DMP, I would still have my DMP on my name, but The NR stands for nursing. So if you have never met Nurse Rubin, you should definitely get to know him on LinkedIn as well, and get to see the projects that he's championing. Already, Adolphus Hall. Listen, guys, if you watch that video, let me make fun of myself. If you watch that video of Nurses in Charge Legacy Award, I got choked up when I got to my husband. I got choked up when I got to my mother and my father, because it just so emotional to see the journey that this organization have come through, and the journey ahead. Yes, it's heavy, is not only heavy, but we don't know what lies ahead. But the fact that my husband has stood by me all these years, and I give this award to him for all that he's done and all that he does, from being one of the founding members of Nurses in Charge and still there with me, championing me all through, even my own education, and now this organization. I just choked up when I came to him. He is my advisor. He is, listen, guy, he is just all world around supportive. And if you do have that husband as a nurse and or a midwife, that husband that been in your corners, or he's been there with you, or that wife. Let's talk about the wives that are there, the wives of nurses and midwives, the husband of nurses and midwives. Take a step back and just look at the journey that they've trailed with you, and pat them on their back, give them a hug, even give them a big kiss, that they are there with you. They have supported you like my husband has. They've championed you along the road. They've been at those graduations. They've been there on those sleepless nights when you come from work, cooking, cleaning, paying the bills, or just taking care of the children. Just name all the things that our husbands and our wives are doing for nursing professionals, for midwives and their families, our husbands, our spouses. It could be just a boyfriend or a fiance. Thank you on behalf of my husband, and I put him out there to thank all of our spouses who have been there with us through this journey and are still there with us for the long haul. Thank you. And then my dad, I tell you, I shouldn't have put these individuals back to back, because I got choked up on them. My dad, I came to the US at the age of 16, and my dad had worked 3 jobs as a nurse's aide to save up money to pay lawyers, to pay immigration, to buy our plane fare, and to get us a home, because before you can bring a family to the US and you're bringing them on certain kind of visa, they have to come and see the apartment. They have to make sure the home has beds in there, have rooms for the numbers of children you're bringing. And back then, this is why I choked up when I came to my dad, because my dad has always been that quiet, gentle spirit in the background. But everything he's done to bring our family up in this generation, and from the get-go, he has done it. By the grace of God, my dad is that giant in our family. Being the first nurse's aide ever in our family in the US. He is now 76 years old, and sometimes we sit and just talk about his nurse's aide days. And I did a video with him, by the way, this year during the International Nurses Week. My mother and my dad were there with me. So watch that video and learn something about this gentle giant, because he said he was being paid $3.50 per hour, but he still managed to bring his children. He brought 4 of us on that visa, and we came directly from refugee camp to the US. But he had to work so hard. He worked so hard that he was dehydrated. The 3 days before he came, to pick us up in Africa. He was dehydrated and he was admitted in a hospital. So I get choked up when I talk about my dad, and he is just amazing. He's amazing. So, legacy award, it is all about him. This is amazing to speak on behalf of my dad. Ooh, now I can take a breath. So, Ashe is a nurse who, I met her this year. The things that she's doing as a nurse, her leadership is it just blew my mind. She's not only serving nurses in charge, but she is serving her community, right? She's serving her community in ways that all of nurses, all of midwives, we should all take on leadership within our communities. So the legacy award goes to Nurse Ashe Rhoda. And then Nurse Valerie Dencia is a nurse in Liberia. She just graduated with her master's in nursing. And it's amazing how this phenomenal spirit, this lady came on board and has taken on leadership in different parts of nurses in charge. She just volunteers her time. Whenever there's a leadership role somewhere, someone needs to pick up, we need to cover, Valerie is available. So I truly appreciate you. When you pick on nurses being in charge, these are people who you don't tell them what to do. A nurse who is in charge, who waits to be told what to do, you're not in charge. You're being led. Yes, leaders can be led, right? Nothing wrong with that, because we always have somebody that we look up to, and we model after that person. But a true nurse in charge is in control. They come on board. They're not waiting to be called for to a meeting. They come, they're available, and they're not waiting to be hand over a task. They start doing it before you can even call them. You look over and they're already all hands on deck. Valerie is one of those nurses, and Dina, you don't fall short of that description. You took on nurses in charge as a regional director, and you came on board full force. It's not easy in Europe to lead the flock there, but you have never relented. You've always been one of those nurses in charge within even your own ministry that God has called you to lead. Nurse Move. When I met you, the first thing you said, I've been doing this. Training and coaching nurses all over the world. I said, well, God is definitely connecting like-minded individuals around the world. So thank you, Dina, for what you do. And then Nurse JJ, Josiah Okosola. I think I misspelled his last name. So Nurse JJ is amazing. He too is in the UK. And today, right after this podcast, I'm joining him for the AI training for nurses in charge members who are out there. Do know that Nurse JJ got awarded as for his legacy in nursing. And beyond that, he has taken on nurses in charge as his baby. He is definitely on board with us. And today, as we go into the boot camp to learn more about AI, how we can utilize AI, how we can develop AI to truly market it, or just make our nursing professional practices the best and doable, and not going back to the old ways we did things, but to work smart. So thank you so much, JJ, for what you do. I appreciate you wholeheartedly. Thank you. Moving forward, we got Nurse Krishna Benny. She is based in India. She is amazing. I'm telling you. We had a symposium this year, and there were members of nurses in charge who came on board. Nurse Krishna is one of those. She came on board and gave us a rich background about the area of from training to practice, what it looks like in India, and when you have members who you call upon them and they come on board in such magnitude, and then you look back at this is their track record. They're servant hearted, and they're now waiting to be pulled along. They are actually leading in their own spheres. That's the legacy. That is the legacy we're honoring, right? And then we come to Marjorie. Marjorie Akenji is one of those as well. And if you take a time and just read or watch that video, I keep throwing you back to that video, that YouTube video for our legacy honoree on ceremony that we held this year. You will see where I read verbatim everything about our leaders, what they're doing in their communities, what they've been doing, what they continue to do. So thank you, Marjorie. And then Leonard Otieno is he's in Kenya, and he again is another phenomenal ICU nurse. He is back in school getting his master's, and he has been so busy, but not busy, not too busy for nurses in charge. When it came to our research for our symposium, he was very much available, and he has been now. Leonard been with Nurses in Charge for about 3 years, I believe, and he's never been one of those nurses standing by the wall and waiting for things to happen. And that's my message to everybody, that Nurses in Charge, that's our name and that's our mantra. Don't stand and be told what to do. You are a nurse in charge. And all of these nurses are in charge, like I mentioned, they are in charge in many ways, in their own organizations, they have their own businesses, they have their own establishments. That's a nurse in charge, because you're not only working from your office, go home and sit and take care of your family. Yes, that's great. But what else are you doing to leave your legacy? What legacy are you leaving for the generation to come? What are they going to say about you? Are they going to have a podcast episode like we are today and talk about you? I only talk about these people because I see their imprint on this generation, and I can see how it will transcend to the generations to come. So I say thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Carla Van Resendale. Carla, I got to know Carla again through burnout prevention um, uh, endeavors, and this was in 4 years ago, right? Carla came on board, and she has always been that quiet spirit that I can always reach out to. Some of those resources that they are on my they're on my radar. The moment I need them, I reach out to them. They're there. Carla is one of those. Even though her hours, the time difference in the Netherlands is way different from my time zone. Carla, if she don't respond in the next few hours, within that 24 hours, she'll respond to me. So she's doing phenomenal work. She's a burnout prevention coach and memory specialist, I believe. And like I said, she's a nurse in charge, leading that legacy. And then Clement Burko. He is a Ghanaian nurse. Forgive me, I said Nigeria. He's in Ghana, and he is a nurse educator. He teaches at one of the colleges in Ghana, and he is so full of pride, the passion to lead the next generation. I just want to sit in one of his classes one day and just absorb that intelligence from him, the knowledge that he shares. And again, as a Nurses in Charge member, he is not hitting, he is up for the mission at hand. So thank you so much, Clement, for what you do. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe I've reached the end of this conversation with you. And it just brings joy to my heart that God Almighty brought me so far to connect with all of these amazing people. If I had refused his calling to start Nurses in Charge, I would have missed out on all these amazing leaders who have truly helped me to grow as a nursing professional. They have truly helped me to take on this journey, not by myself, but as a community. So today, as we celebrate Memorial Day, I come with my whole heart to say thank you. I come with the hands of God to say you are blessed for what you do, and you're blessed for how you're impacting your world, your community, your homes, how you're allowing your light to shine in this dark world. We have nurses who are so not passionate about serving beyond their paycheck, but nurses in charge are nurses who are serving beyond their paycheck, because quite frankly the paycheck will die off at some point. You may need more promotion to appreciate that paycheck, but when you're serving humanity beyond the paycheck as a nurse in charge, listen, that legacy will speak on for you from for generation to generation. So continue doing what you do. And as we celebrate Memorial Day today, it is your memory that we're celebrating. We're celebrating what you bring to the table, what you are doing out there. Share your nurse story and let the world hear about you. And today we just did that. We shared the nurse's story. We talked about um, we talked about 37 nurses on this podcast today. There were 39 slides, but out of the 39, there were 36 nurses that were mentioned today. And I thank you all. May God bless you all. I am going on to my AI training, and I invite you all to come along and learn about AI. Let's start building a new a page in our legacy in the knowledge and usage of AI. So you have a wonderful day. See you all again on the next appointed time that we're here to share the nursing story. Happy Memorial Day to you all. Hey, Nurse Shinano, thank you for joining. I'm glad I noticed your presence here. Before I could close up, yes, long live nurses in charge in the works of the kingdom of God. Nurses in charge we will not live long if we're not anchored in Christ. So I say thank you. Thank you again. Thank you for that amazing statement. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Memorial Day to Nurses in Charge Global.